Today, we're gonna look at the new SimCam AI. Stay tuned. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Dial Home Tech. Today we're going to be taking a look at the new SimCam AI Security Camera. But before we get started, if you are new here and you want to learn about home automation, smart home technology, and watch tech reviews like this very one right here, then please click on that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the bell so that you're notified when my new videos come out. Also, I want to thank you SimCam for sponsoring the video and sending me a unit for review. But, as always, opinions in this video are my own, so let's get started with that. Just to give you a tiny bit of history, SimCam has actually been around for not long compared to some of the other cameras on the market. Just back in January, SimCam won an Innovation Award at CES, and shortly after that, they did their Kickstarter campaign, raising over $300,000 for more than 1,200 backers for this particular product. So the main thing that sets SimCam apart from the other cameras is the local learning and machine computing that you can get right in there for these cameras. So if your concern is actually security on the cloud, all of your information and your footage gets stored locally right there on the camera at your hand's reach. It does provide local machine learning and storage with AI detection versus your typical motion detection, which causes a lot of false alarms if you get something moving in the background, like a pet, or even the wind sometimes shaking a tree if you have it pointed out towards a window. And all of that is processed by the Intel Movidius VPU chip, which allows this camera to process everything from face recognition and AI detection of people right there locally on the camera. Instead of unboxing, I'll quickly show you everything that's inside of the box. It has the camera, a power cable, a wall mount, a quick guide, and it also includes a 16GB micro SD card that lets you start using the camera right away. The original price for the camera is $189, but you can pick one up this week because of Cyber Monday still right there at the $99 to $95 mark. Based on what I said about the chip, the local storage, and the fact that everything is processed locally in this camera, it also plays out a nice little card, which means you don't have to pay a subscription fee to a lot of the features that are packed into this camera, unlike some of the competitors out there, such as Nest or Ring, and so on and so forth. Also, it does support NAS storage. So let's take a look at some of the main features that really stood out for me while I was using this camera. The build quality is really nice, and all I could think of is that this is actually something Apple would make. Nice finishes, good bevels around, no cut corners here anywhere. It's a nice solid finish, very beautiful looking camera. So you can put this camera on top of a table, a desk, or a piece of furniture, or you can mount it on the wall with the included wall mount. It does include a nice and strong 3M tape, which you can slap right on the back of the mount and it'll stick anywhere you want. It also has an 8.5-foot power cable, which is really nice if you're trying to reach a little bit of a longer distance, depending on where you're mounting this. And it's IP54 weatherproofed, which means you can actually leave this outside on rain and actually let it take some weather and it'll be just fine. It also has a 360 panoramic motor on it. It is a little noisy though, but it's not too bad, and I'll show you what it sounds like. The camera itself, it's a 1080p with 30 FPS and Starlight night vision. So all those night vision shots are gonna come in super crispy and really look like it's HDR footage. The person detection on it is really spot on. No more false alarms. My dog tends to get on the couch and I get this false alarm from my wife's camera saying that there's movement in a living room. Now with this one, you can actually have your dog walk around and do whatever she wants to do, and you don't get an actual message saying that there was some movement in the living room. The AI will let you know if it's a real person or if it's just your pet trying to get around. It also has a cool little thing called object monitoring. If you have this camera pointing at something, some sort of like painting or a vase or some sort of valuable that you have, you can actually track that particular object to make sure that it's never moved or it never leaves its place. So in this case, I tested to see how it performed and it was spot on. As soon as the object was gone, the alert was out. A nice little touch by SimCam on this camera was that they included a siren onto the camera. If there is an intruder or some sort of emergency around your house and you need to sound the alarm, all you have to do is just step on the siren and a really loud siren will start blaring right from the camera. If you do want to check out what the siren sounds like, I will show you guys, but I just want to say please lower your volumes for the sake of your ears because it's actually pretty loud. I'll give you a couple of seconds. Are you ready? Let's listen in. The camera does provide two-way audio with the mic and speaker, and I'll show you guys what it sounds like.
Hey everybody, just doing a quick test right here on the SimCam audio.
And last but not least, I do want to note a couple more features that are really worth mentioning. One of them is actually you can set a privacy mode right there on the camera app when you get home. If you don't want something recording you in case there's motion, you kind of really just want that camera off for when you're at home for privacy reasons. So you can actually tap a privacy mode on the app and it'll turn the camera off for as long as you're at home. And the last one is actually subject tracking, which will keep the person in the frame when they're moving from side to side, so the camera can actually track their movement as they're going in and out of the frame. Now let's go over some of the things I noticed that weren't so hot on my list at least. As a UI engineer, I tend to be pretty critical when it comes to usability and UI quality on apps and websites. And when I was using the SimCam app for the first time, I noticed that there's still some localization stuff that they probably need to take care of when it comes to releasing this to an even broader market. Here and there, you're still gonna see some messages that are not up to the US standards of the English language. And some buttons of the application still have dummy data in there, so that if you're trying to call for support, it doesn't actually direct you to their support site. But all in all, the usability of the app is actually really good considering the amount of features that they provide, including a built-in user manual right there on the application. The audio quality coming out of the speaker, I thought it was okay. It actually sits pretty leveled with the industry standard, but for the built-in quality of this camera, I actually expected something a little more clear to kind of set the bar a little higher compared to the other cameras on the market. And last but not least, subject tracking was okay at best. It did have a little bit of a hard time trying to keep up with me as I was moving on the camera from left to right. I actually had to pause to see if it would catch up to me. Now I know subject tracking is still a little bit of a finicky thing to do. I say that because of my drones have subject tracking and sometimes it struggles a little bit trying to stay with the subject. But I was thinking that they could still try to do a little bit of a better job, push the bar a little higher, and come up with really solid subject tracking when it comes to this camera. Not quite there yet, but not a deal breaker for sure. Well guys, this about wraps it up for the review of the SimCam. If you enjoyed the video and you found value in this, please don't forget to hit the like button. And also, you can check me out on social media, on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, where I post weekly snippets about home automation, smart home technology, and the reviews that are going on in the channel. Well, if you enjoyed, stick around, hit the subscribe button, and until next time, I'm Dial. See you guys later.